When you look back at retro gaming back in time, that is, the games were colorful, vibrant, and full of nostalgia. Any retro handheld sold today still gives you that same nostalgic spark, but for me, there's always been something missing. The real sense of nostalgia doesn't just come from the games themselves, it comes from the equipment we played them on. When I think of retro gaming, I think of that massive tube TV sitting in the living room, the wood grain devices, the chunky buttons, those beautiful scan lines, and the vivid colors glowing in the dark. That, to me, is the true retro gaming experience. But then you might ask, why bring up handhelds in the first place? Why not just buy a CRT from some seller online or maybe a thrift store? Well, that's where the point of this video comes in. I'm 7C's scientist, and today we're going to be building a CRT cabinet for the Anbernic RG406V, a 1/3 scale CRT replica that captures the look, the feel, and almost everything that made that big forgotten tube in the living room so special, except this time it's something you can actually carry with you. And yes, it's much lighter than the real thing. So let's get started. This is going to be a journey, condensed down for ease of explanation and time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, because we're about to set sail.
Yo ho, a pirate's life for me.
First and foremost, let's discuss the requirements. Number 1, you'll need a 3D printer. Number 2, you'll need a large print bed. I recommend a volume of at least 250 by 250 millimeters with a print height of at least 70 millimeters, though not much more is needed. Number 3, you'll need good adhesion, such as a heated print bed. And for filament, set aside at least 600 grams. Number 4, time. This is where things get a little subjective. Not all printers are created equal. For example, I'm using a 4-year-old Creality Surmoon D1. It looks modern, but it's slow, printing at just 50 millimeters per second. If you're using something faster, like a Bamboo Lab printer, your print time will vary dramatically. For me, printing all 3 pieces took a very long 60 hours. So if you're already thinking of stopping here, just take a look at how awesome this model came out and see if you're still in. Number 5, to get this final look, painting is required. And this model is still a rough draft, open for remixing, which I'll explain more at the midpoint. As for accessories, I kept it budget-friendly: cork, foam pads, and paint, all purchased from Dollar Tree for less than $10 total. Of course, it's not $1 per item anymore. We are in 2025 after all. Number 2, obviously, and most importantly, you'll need to own an Anbernic RG406. This project may also work with an RG405V or even an RG40XXV, but that hasn't been tested. The width and thickness of each device are slightly different, so fitment might be tricky. You may need to adjust the 3D model or add extra foam padding for a secure fit. Now keep in mind, this cabinet was specifically designed and tested for the vertical shape of the RG406. It features a base that supports the device length. If your model is one of the horizontal versions, the ones ending in H, this design won't work out of the box. That said, if you're skilled at model manipulation, maybe one of you can remix it and create something new for the community. I'd love to see what makers out there come up with. Also, quick note, all files and component links are available in the description below. This video contains no paid promotions, no sponsorships, and no product exchanges. Every device shown is my own property. Anbernic and Creality have not endorsed this project in any way. And because I need to mention this, due to the ongoing legal issues surrounding emulation, all games shown here are my own ROM dumps. I don't provide links to anything that could be considered piracy. Sure, there are shady websites out there where things magically appear, but that's not what we do here. We don't talk about that.
Illegal!
All right. Enough of the disclaimers before my dislike counter starts climbing. Let's get cooking. Today, I'm using Sun PLA+. It's affordable, durable, and sands down nicely compared to regular PLA. For slicing, I load the model face down in Cura or Creality Slicer, whichever software you prefer. Printing face down gives a cleaner result. And let me repeat this 3 times for emphasis. Supports, supports, support. Most of your 600 grams of filament will go into support material. And for the largest piece, you'll also need a raft. Now, my printer isn't fast. It's capped at 50 millimeters per second. If your printer can't handle speeds above 60 reliably, don't try pushing it. Trust me, I made that mistake once. I cranked the speed up to 150, and what I got was a nasty, stringy mess. Save yourself the headache. Be patient. If you don't have a Bamboo Lab printer, this will take time. But when you see the final result, you'll be glad you waited. After about 20 hours, I had my first piece finished, and thanks to my budget Temu camera, I was able to monitor the print remotely, even while running DoorDash and Uber Eats deliveries because, well, I don't get paid enough to just sit and watch prints all day. I'm cheap. After 52 hours, the largest piece was done, and it came out beautiful. Add another 2 hours for the sliding door and 5 hours for the TV frame. In total, about 59 hours and change. Not too bad. Next, I slid the Anbernic into the top portion. The fit was tight, exactly as intended. I also added rear intake vents for airflow, plus an open port for the down-firing speakers and auxiliary cable. Because the analog sticks got in the way, I removed them and placed foam inside the cabinet for a snug fit. Since I'll be using a Bluetooth controller anyway, the sticks weren't necessary. Now, the sliding rear door I designed doubles as storage. You can keep the analog sticks in there or even headphones and spare SD cards. Unfortunately, an AirPods case won't fit, but maybe you makers out there can remix it to work. While waiting on the other parts, I started painting early. For materials, I used acrylic paint, paint markers, and brushes, all from Dollar Tree for under $10. To simulate wood grain, I recommend using 3 colors, black, beige, and brown. Black was used to draw lines for the wood pattern, brown was brushed over with thin strokes, and finally a light layer of beige gave it that aged, realistic finish. The side frame of the TV was painted with coarse strokes of brown to really sell the simulated wood effect. Quick history lesson. In the late 1970s, TV manufacturers started replacing wood with plastic, but kept the wood grain look to match home decor. By the early 1990s, that faux wood styling faded away, and eventually CRTs themselves disappeared in the 2010s. This project captures the TV I grew up with, a simulated wood cabinet, the same type I played most of my childhood games on. After painting and assembly, here it is. Finished product. It looks authentic, it feels retro, and the best part is, I can actually pick it up without breaking my back. Now, it looks the part, but to truly capture the CRT feel, we need one last piece: scan lines and geometry. RetroArch has exactly what we need. Inside the shader settings, navigate to the CRT section and apply a geometry shader to your game. And just look at this inside the cabinet. It's stunning. And I promise, the camera doesn't do it justice. As a bonus, RetroArch can also apply the CRT shader to video files. So yes, you can watch your 4:3 aspect ratio movies the way they were meant to be seen. And that's it, my friends. Thanks for following along with this project. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and drop a comment below to let me know what you'd like to see next. Until next time, this has been 7C's Scientist, and I'll see you on the next journey.